Hey bro, it's Jackson. So in this video, I'm going to explain the levels to muscle growth. This idea is important because you need to understand exactly where you are right now and what steps you need to take to get to the next level, which is more muscle, getting bigger, getting stronger. I'm Jackson Patsakis. If you don't know me already, I train young men for a living. I help young men get their dream physique, get insane confidence, and completely design their life. It's literally what I do for work, and I love it. And I would do it every day if I could. So let's get to the first point. The levels to muscle growth. You're likely not making any progress because you don't believe you're capable of it. If you can't see it, it will never happen, and it being progress. The first step to achieving your dream physique is being able to see the potential you have and have it mapped out for you. Or it'll be vague and abstract and it just won't make sense to you. So I've made a map of your potential future and I've also gamified it as well. In the hopes that once you see it, you will not unsee it. It'll help you see and start planning the steps to a future where your life is completely transformed. It'll help you see you're going to learn where you are right now and what steps you need to take and what beautiful rewards lay ahead. So let's get into the first step of completely changing your future, which is seeing a better future. You need to see it all mapped out. So I've got this lovely whiteboard here. You can see each level. We're going to start at level one. All that drawing, I was a bit bored. So level 1 to 5. This is where you just start. You're going to have noob gains at the start, which is pretty gangster. You're probably going to start kind of eating better. You know what food, like, oh, maybe I'll eat some like more vegetables or this and that. Um, Doing push-ups in your room. This is pretty much all level one consists of. You can have a pretty average physique to start from level 0 to level 5. This was me the first day I started training, first day I started doing push-ups in my room. The biggest point here is just start. You just need to begin the process. And it is, funnily enough, this is the hardest step. You'd think like having that massive physique, looking like C-bum, all jacked would be the hardest step, but it's actually not. It's literally just doing the first couple push-ups. So here's a little graph I made. I want you to understand this as well. This is the beginning of your journey. As you can see my cursor right here, the valley of despair. This is the hardest part of the journey because you're not seeing any progress and it's hard to get motivation when you don't see any progress. This is before you start seeing all the results in this level 0 to 5 stage. You're not going to be seeing any progress, so you've not got that like drive. Every time you see a bit of muscle in the later stages, you're like, oh yeah, I want to train harder now. You don't see that in this level. You don't see that at this stage. And it sucks. It honestly sucks. Working hard and not making any progress, it fucking sucks, bro. But it takes about 3 weeks to start making that initial progress, 2 to 3 weeks to start building that first positive feedback cycle. So this stage doesn't last long. You just have to begin it. So level 0 to 5, if you're at this current stage right now, all you have to know is just keep going. So the priorities of this stage is you need to learn. You need to learn what you need to do. You need to keep learning. And you didn't need to just not stop, basically. You just need to keep pushing forward. If you stop at this stage, you're just never going to get to the next stage. And support. If you can get support at this stage, like some friends who are training, learning from people online like me, you're going to make a lot more progress than if you just do nothing and try not to learn and don't get any support. You do get some rewards at this stage, but they're very small. You get a little bit of self-respect because you're like, I don't know, you get this kind of vague motivation because you can kind of see where you're going to go because you have this idea of a good physique. But um, you basically don't get the self-respect until you start making the progress because you don't actually see any progress at this stage. You see a potential to start a new life, but that's only if you keep going. If you stop at this stage, you'll never get to the next stage. Hopefully, that's pretty obvious. You don't want to stop here. If you're at this current stage, just keep going. And let's get on to level 5 to level 20. So we're at level 0 to 5, 5 to 20 now. This is when you start noticing your gains. So here's a photo of me when I started noticing some muscle mass. You can see my shoulders kind of jacked a little bit. And here's one of my clients as well, Jackson, young man. Bro, he is mashing it. He's gained If you can see here, he started at 56 kilos. He's gained 4 kilos of like pure muscle in less than 3 months. This is when you start seeing the compound effect take place. You're out of the valley of despair and you start seeing that initial muscle growth. That's the best stage because positive feedback loop begins here. What you need to do at this stage is start setting priorities, basically. So set tasks that you want to do. Oh, I want to train. It's really simple at the start. It's literally just, oh, I want to train a bit more. And your version of bulking at the start is just going to be trying to eat more. Just having one more spoonful is what I tell the boys. Every time you eat, just have one more spoonful. Progressive overload, you might start understanding progressive overload. This is a bit more complex system, but this is basically how it works. You find a weight that you can lift for 7 to 8 reps. You keep lifting that every session. You get bigger and stronger through that process. And then you can lift that weight for 12 to 13 reps. And then you start from the start. You find a weight, ideally heavier, that we just went light on, that you can lift for 7 to 8. You keep lifting that every session. You get bigger and stronger. This cycle is called progressive overload, is progressively adding weight or adding like difficulty to a workout to make more progress because that's the only way you're going to make progress. The biggest part in this stage here is building the boulder. You don't want to start sculpting the pebble at this stage. What this means is you want to build that frame first. You don't want to start like trying to focus on the intricate details of your muscle at this stage. You just need to build your overall frame and you just need to get bigger overall. So that's where bulking is super important, eating more calories than you burn. And this is also where the positive feedback loop begins. This is when you start seeing the muscle, you start seeing the progress you're making, and you actually want to keep going. That motivation is way more like potent and powerful than any other motivation you'll get is seeing your own progress. So the priorities at this stage is just learning. Again, keep learning, not stopping. It is always going to be the case. It's just you just have to start and never stop. That's the whole point. Like that's the biggest thing, the biggest piece of fitness advice I could give you is just start and don't stop. If you do this for your whole life, you start and never stop, you're bound to make progress. Of course, I'm trying to help you out and get you progress way quicker than you would if you just started doing push-ups in your room and just never stop doing push-ups in your room. I'll give you some more advice than that, but that's the biggest thing is just not stopping. Do not fall off here. This is important. Once you start getting this, you might be kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool. I got a bit of muscle now. Yeah, for sure. You can be complacent at this stage, but you're not any like. There's nothing special to that. Like this is level 5, bro. Why would you stop at level 5 when there's so much more progress you can make, which I'm going to map out just after this. The reward you get at this stage, you get a lot more self-respect because you're starting to see genuine progress you're making. You're starting to see muscle growth. Maybe some people are noticing it as well. Positive feedback loop begins. So motivation becomes easier, training becomes easier, and the snowball effect begins from that. So the compound effect, snowball effect is all the same thing. When you start making a little bit of progress, you start being happy that you're making a little bit of progress and you start working harder and then you start making more progress. And that's basically how the snowball effect works in muscle building. And like, if you want to get deep and sentimental, you have a new reason to live. Some people, a lot of people at this stage, me personally, is level 0. There's not, there's, if you can grasp at like anything you can get your hands on to keep yourself going in this life, do it, bro. Like, please do it. If this is something that has saved so many people's lives and has helped a lot of my clients find like a new purpose in life, bro, please just start this process and never stop. You can hang on, like, if you stack up the amount of reasons you have to live, not to be like super deep, but that's just going to keep you going and keep your like life more fruitful. Does that make sense? Let's go on to the next stage. Level 20 to level 50. So this is my progress from the beginning, level 0, to, I would say the start of level 20 to 50. So maybe like 25 or something, if you want to put a number on it. I gained 8 kilos in 7 months. At this stage, you'll be noticeably big. Like people will start giving you compliments. You'll start walking around. You'll have insane confidence at this stage. But there's a few things you need. From level 20 to level 50, you need to have your diet on lock. You can't be like messing around with shit food at this stage. At this stage over here, you can pretty much dirty bulk and get muscle, which is just eating shit food and keep training. If you do that, you're going to gain size. And yeah, that's cool. You'll look a bit bigger. But if you actually want to like start sculpting and looking nice, you're going to have to get that diet on lock. And if you want to keep training, bro, if you want to keep training hard, you need to be eating good food. You can't like train off Maccas. You can't fuel your vehicle eating fucking fast food all day. It's just not going to be, it's not sustainable. Calorie tracking, ideally at this stage, you're going to be tracking all the food that you eat because if you want to start getting bigger, eventually you're going to like get complacent and you're not going to know which food it like making you bigger anymore because before it was just eating a little bit more food because you really didn't need that much extra calories to grow. But now at this stage, you're going to start like probably struggling to eat. Follow me. Volume tracking. So this is tracking the amount of work you're doing during the week. You want to track your lifts and you also want to track like how much you're lifting through the week. Ideally, you do this during like over the week instead of each session because you can where can I start on this? If you increase the amount of overall weight you're lifting each week, your body is going to adapt to that new weight and get bigger. It's like putting your body, you can kind of hijack your body's, um, I wouldn't say fight or flight, but just adapt response by adding the amount of resistance each week. So just increasing the weight, increasing the intensity, increasing the amount of time you're doing it. If you just increase that each week, you're going to grow. If you track that volume, you need to start tracking that volume at this stage because it gets a bit vague. And you might like be doing a little less the next week and then doing a lot less the week after and then doing a little bit more. You just need to keep consistent growth at this stage. On level 20 to 50, you'll start getting to the top 5% of strength as well. So top 5% strength in like bench and like gym lifts. Bench one times your body weight, squat 1.5 times your body weight, and deadlift two times your body weight. You'll be getting strong as fuck at this stage. Pardon my French, but like you'll be getting massive. You'll probably need a gym at this stage as well. The first couple of stages, you could work out from home and get this physique. But if you want to start like getting quite jacked and getting massive, you're going to start needing that extra resistance to increase the volume. Does that make sense? And consistency, again, you just need to keep on going. Ideally, you're going to be a lot more consistent than you were at this stage. You can kind of fall off for a couple of weeks and get back on track here. Not saying that like to give you an excuse, but you can't do that at this stage. Your gains are going to go a lot quicker. So the priorities at this stage are advanced learning. You want to learn like some deeper stuff. You want to learn more about diet. You want to learn more about hypertrophy, which is just muscle growth. And you just want to keep building on your knowledge base because that's going to help you grow as well. Tracking everything. You're going to be tracking your calories, tracking your weights, tracking your volume. Recovery. You're going to start probably getting injured at this stage, unfortunately, unless you're recovering properly and like working it into your exercises. You don't want to get injured at this stage because it can make you fall off so hard. I got injured for about 3 months. I had an ankle injury. It was completely unrelated to this, but the amount of muscle mass I lost, like just being off my feet for 2, 3 months, was insane. So you need to really prioritize your recovery. You can do this by like going to saunas and just because when you start going to this stage, you're going to be working hard and you're going to be tired and stressed. And you need to find ways to kind of relax and chill out and recover your muscles and all like the deeper stuff. But you're going to learn that from the advanced learning. I won't go into it too much. Don't get complacent at this stage as well. At the beginning, you'll look a bit like this. But if you want to keep making progress, you're going to have to not get complacent at this stage. Honestly, I have a lot more respect for someone who's complacent at this stage than this stage, of course. But if you want to keep going to like the higher levels, like to the end of level 50, if you're starting at level 20, you need to keep being consistent and not get complacent. And you're going to need support. Um, at this stage, you're going to need to be training with brothers. You're going to be doing this for like life. So you need to make it exciting and fun. And if it's not, you're you're probably going to quit. Honestly, if you keep doing this for like months and months just by yourself, it's going to get boring and you're going to want to quit. Like if you have friends you can train with, people who are bigger than you, ideally, because you are the average size of the five people you train with. If you know that quote, you're the average of the five people you spend time with. That's a quote I've made. You're the average size of the five people you train with. So don't train with like dickheads. Train with like hardcore guys who are on this shit, who are actually on this shit. There's some gangster rewards at this stage, 20 to 50. Obviously, the higher level you are in between 20 to 50, the better the rewards. You're gonna start getting some insane women attraction from your physique. Like I won't get too into it, but like me going out, the amount of compliments I get on my physique now compared to these stages, it was kind of cool. Yeah, like oh, you look kind of nice, but now it's like I'm kind of like getting sexualized by women, which honestly I didn't mind at the start. You get respect from men. So if you have like men in your family, imagine your father actually looking at you and complimenting your physique. If you can't like even imagine that, if you're at this stage, imagine your father like fuck. That's deep. I don't want to get into that too much, but getting respect from men is so important. You're going to be able to spend more time with high quality men, which is going to just again feed that positive feedback loop and keep you gaining muscle. You're going to be literally physically capable as well at this stage. You're going to be able to lift like heavy shit. Um, at the earlier stages, it was kind of just about looking a bit nicer. That's cool and all, but at this stage, you're going to be able to like actually move shit around, be strong, be able to not fight because you're not training fighting, but it doesn't honestly muscle doesn't really correlate to fighting ability, but you will be able to wrestle with some guys. Um, and you'll be way more confident in yourself than the earlier stages. Oh my God. If you're consistent on this shit for like a long, long time, the confidence you have in yourself is just like imagine every time you see the mirror you wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you look in the mirror and you're jacked. Of course, you're going to be confident going through the day, bro. Every time I used to wake up in the mirror, I would see this like a blank slate. There's nothing to that physique. But every time you go for a shower, you see yourself and you just got massive shoulders and you got abs and you're jacked. Of course, you're going to be confident, bro. Confidence is, what did Alex Hormozy say? Confidence is an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. If you say you're this hardworking guy, this is proof of that. A jacked physique is proof that you're working hard, that you actually are who you say you are. If you want to be this next level man, you have to get to this stage at least. And I've spent a lot more time on these two stages because they're the most important. Um, and level 50 to 100, this is just some C bum shit. I don't really want to get into this unless you're into like, this is going to be your only priority if you want to achieve this kind of physique. This needs to be a full time job. You need 10 years of training or steroids. And you just need like lifetime consistency for this. Priorities, steroids, and this is going to be your only priority. But the rewards you get at this stage, if you really want to get here, you're going to be the best in the world. Nobody's going to be able to compete with you, and you're going to be a genuine master of something in your lifetime. It's gangster to me, and have a lot of respect for people at this stage. It's just not. It's not for me. So I really like to stick around this stage because I've got other goals in mind other than just this. But this is like ideal. This is where you want to stick around. And if you can keep and maintain this for the rest of your life and keep like refining it and working on it and scaling it, you're just never going to feel all the turmoil and despair you would at this stage. You're going to have insane confidence for the rest of your life. You're going to be physically capable for the rest of your life. You're going to have respect from men for the rest of your life. And you're going to be attractive to women for the rest of your life. I think that's super important. So I hope you like that pretty quick video. I really like this stage. I'm getting all of my boys to this stage at the moment. Jackson is so close to getting there. It's just a matter of time now, to be honest. So if you like, I've got a link in the description of exactly how you can go through all those stages like super quick. Basically, that's all I do for work. So if you want that progress, you can get to level 20, level 50 real quick. I can help you out with that. You don't have to click it, but it is there if you want. Um, so that's everything. Thank you so much for sticking around. Genuinely, like if you're at this point of the video, you've got an insane attention span, and you've gone through all my like shitty handwriting, it's terrible like drawings and diagrams. So thank you so much for that. Love you to like, comment, and subscribe. That would also help the channel a lot. So yeah, thank you so much for watching again. It's been a pleasure, and I hope this has helped you in some way. Thanks, bro.